Hello, I'm Wil Hodgson and I'm a comedian, I'm a barber, and like everyone else in the comedy and barbering industries, I'm currently at home at the minute not working because of social distancing. So, like a lot of other comedians, I'm doing some stuff on the internet. I'm not going to be doing stand up because it just feels weird to me doing stand up without an audience. So, what I'm going to be doing is just kind of talking about a few things that interest me. I did a show a few weeks back that was on Facebook Live that was about my interest in British hangmen. So it's going to be some stuff like that and just some stuff that's me talking about things that are in my collection. I've collected a lot of stuff over the years. There's like a 16th of it behind me. This is just some books and DVDs that I brought over to the flats from my previous residence before we moved into here. I've got an absolute metric fuck ton Collier Brothers level collection of stuff. It's in my mum's loft, it's in like my old place, there's bits and pieces here, comic books, toys, records, and just various other kinds of stuff. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. One of the things that I'm really missing this time of year is there's usually car boots going on now. It's car boot season, and obviously that's not going to be a thing, although I wouldn't rule out some nutter attempting one anyway and causing some sort of chippany spike of coronavirus. But if they do that, I'm staying well the fuck away from it, and I'm just going to be reminiscing about car boot sales of yore. So I'm going to be talking about some things that I've picked up at car boots. Some of them I've got here. And it's going to be just completely at random, really. It's not going to be themed, it's just going to be whatever I've been having a look at and enjoying today. This is something that I dug out from the flat earlier. This is one of my favourite oddities that I found at a car boot sale. This is, I do love a celebrity tie-in for a car boot, so especially annuals and things. Annuals that you wouldn't think would be annuals. Some things that naturally lend themselves to being annuals, so like the Dandy, the Beano, obviously like kid-related TV shows, Muppet Babies annual, yeah, makes sense, Super Ted annual. Then you get things like a Bread annual, or an Low annual, or a Minder or a Sweeney annual, like that kind of thing. This isn't really an annual, it's a kind of annual-sized book. This is the sort of thing that a kid who was hoping to get an annual for Christmas would get and then think, fuck's sake, my parents hate me. This is Play Safe with the Stars, and it's by Dave Prowse, apparently. Dave Prowse allegedly sat and wrote this himself, but that's going to be blown apart as I open the thing. It's on one level, it seems like a reasonable TV tie. You've got the guys, the Green Cross man, telling you to play safe. That's what Dave Prowse was doing when he wasn't Darth Vader and when he wasn't in Clockwork Orange. That he was the Green Cross man, calling kids Dumbo to their face and telling them how not to get killed in horrific car accidents. And this book is quite batshit, really. This from 1980, and you've got it's got the approval of Norman Fowler, who was the Minister of Transport at the time. I think it's the only thing that Dave Prowse has actually written for this, and possibly not even that, is this introductory letter where he's just saying, like, it's better to be alive than killed in a horrible accident, and blah 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 blah. So it starts off with, as you can imagine, there's the Green Cross code, not crossing the road. There's a girl crossing a road with a zebra there to illustrate zebra crossings, and also then you've got other celebrities pitching in with their own personal safety tips. Again, probably they didn't write these. They're not even appearing in it. They're appearing in. It appears to be the guy who drew all the covers and looking in the 70s doing it instead. So it's just kind of licensed. So you've got Lorraine Chase's safety game now. I've done a thing with Lorraine Chase once. It was a panel show or another, some kind of live chat thing. I was on there with guys, Janie Godley was on it, and there was that guy out of Fine Young Cannibals, that Roland Gift guy, and there was Lorraine Chase, and she was fucking awesome. She was absolutely bloody lovely, Lorraine Chase. She's the safety game here. The goodies there, Tim Brooke Taylor, RIP, telling you bicycle safety, of course, whilst riding a clearly dangerous fashion with three guys on a bike looking into camera, and they've got the fucking gall to give you tips on bicycle safety. But it's quite sad for the old Tim Brooke with the coronavirus. RIP, comedic legend he was. And there's also there's a safety song here. I guess you meant to if you were also unfortunate enough to be forced to have piano lessons or whatever. You could be made to sing that by your parents. There's Night Safety with Patrick Moore, The Sky at Night, so obviously he's the man for night safety. He has some quite fucked up views on things as I understand it. I always thought he was a nice old boy, but I don't know, maybe he didn't, maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. There's that whole other thing with him though, about his fiance died in the war or something like that, and he never married because he never loved again like that. That's really fucking sweet. I hope I'm wrong about him having like mental views on things, because I quite liked his style, the double monocle and everything. Cliff Richard and car safety, the two go together there. Cliff Richard still having some kind of authority over young people. David Bellamy giving you advice on poisonous plants. David Bellamy is someone you'd actually fucking listen to more so than Cliff Richard. This is back in the days before we feared experts. You'd listen to David Bellamy. He knows a shitload about plants. Also passed away recently, so there's a bit of melancholy with this book. The basic first aid section, of course, who better than Basil Fawlty and his long-suffering bellboy that he keeps smacking around the head with saucepans and letting him get set on fire and causing himself legitimate injuries that he would later sue the BBC for. So it's kind of, even there looks like a manual, looks like he's in a hostage situation with all of this. And there's, what else is in here? There's water safety, of course, with Don and Windsor. They're bizarrely not called by the character names there. They are, you're supposed to buy that they walk around in a pith helmet and military gear respectively. And also, these are kind of like a cavalcade of comedy legends who are no longer with us. It kind of takes some of the joy out of it a bit. Chris Tarrant fishes safely, and just there was no indication that anything else was the case. There was that thing in the papers about him flicking shit with a fork at someone, wasn't there? Again, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I should check these things out before. They've got no reason to think Chris Tarrant flicked anything from a fork at someone. There was something to do with him and anyway, so I think Doctor Who appears. It's a kind of a lot for geeks and sci-fi fans. You've got Doctor Who telling you about like who to ring in an emergency, just 999, I guess, but they get a page out of that. You've also bizarrely got a Star Wars thing in here. They got maybe Prowse greased a few wheels for this, but you've got the Star Wars safety thing. This is kind of just a random thing drawn by, I'd imagine, like a UK comic artist. This is one of the more kind of obscure Star Wars tie-ins that I've got in my collection. Obviously back then things were fireworks safety with Paul Daniels as well. What he's got to do with fireworks, I don't know, but he did pretend to be burned at the stake one Halloween by the Witchfinder General. So that was later on, but I don't know. It's, I suppose, flamboyant and all that. So this is the kind of shit that I'm going to be kind of talking about, and you may or may not be interested in that stuff from the collection, maybe other stuff. What I'll do is I'll write under the video what it's about, and you can look at that and either go, yes, I would like to hear Will talk about that, or you can think like, no, I don't think I'll fucking bother. It'll all be flagged up anyway. So that's plenty for now. So yeah, I'll bung this up, and I'll probably bung some more stuff up later in the week. So cool. Cheers.